Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This story takes place on a quiet, tree-lined street in Middle River, Maryland, where a terrible secret was hidden behind the front door of a seemingly normal home. On July 7th, 2024, police responded to a welfare check request at a house on Taos Circle. The caller was worried about their elderly neighbor, but what police found inside would shake the entire community to its core. With that being said, let's get right into it. When the police responded to the welfare check, they unfortunately discovered two bodies: 75-year-old Iona Sellers and her granddaughter, 29-year-old Autumn Harvey. Their quiet lives ended violently, and the question on everyone's mind was, who could have done this? The scene painted a horrifying picture. Both women suffered brutal blunt force trauma, and Autumn had also been stabbed. As detectives began to piece together the evidence, they were working against a seemingly cold trail. There were no immediate suspects, and the community was left with a sense of fear and unease.
News we're following here at 5. Baltimore County Police identified the two women killed inside a home in Middle River. The community is in disbelief tonight about the killings of 29-year-old Autumn Harvey and 75-year-old Iona Sellers. WJZ is live at Baltimore County Police headquarters in Towson. Tara Lynch on your corner with the latest on this investigation. And Tara, you also have reaction from family members.
That's right, Stefan. Kind, giving, and funny. That's how family members are remembering Iona Sellers and Autumn Harvey. Police say that they're investigating this as a double homicide. They're still searching for answers tonight. Meanwhile, the family says they want justice for this grandmother and granddaughter.
Just her contagious laugh. I still hear it, and I, still holding on to those fond memories we made throughout the years of growing up together and all of the fun we had.
Baltimore County Police say 29-year-old Autumn Harvey and 75-year-old Iona Sellers were killed in a home on Taos Circle in Middle River. They were found dead inside the home after officers responded to a check location call Sunday morning. The grandmother and granddaughter were found with blunt force trauma injuries to the upper body.
Completely utter shock. I was brushing my kids' teeth, and I think I blacked out for a couple of seconds. I just woke up and I was on the floor, and my fiance was just holding me.
We will do whatever it takes to find, arrest, and hold accountable those who committed this act.
Baltimore County Police are still searching for a suspect, and the family hopes that justice will be served. Devin Harvey says he grew up with Autumn, and they were more like siblings rather than cousins.
She was a little bit shy, but once you got to know her and break out of her shell, she was just awesome. My favorite thing to do was go to my grandmother's house, get in the pool, and eat crabs, and we got to do that last weekend for the last time.
He described the close relationship Autumn had with Iona, even living in the same house. While they're not related, Devin says Iona had a big heart.
Iona was big in the community, big with church. She always did all the trunk or treats. She was an awesome person, would give you the shirt off her back. They were very close. Autumn, wanted to stay here with her grandmother because she didn't want her to be alone. Just so badly want to find out why this happened, who did this, and then seek justice.
Anyone with information is encouraged to reach out to Baltimore County Police, or you can reach out anonymously to Metro Crime Stoppers. Their tip line 866-7-LOCK-UP. For now, reporting live on your corner at Baltimore County Police Headquarters, Tara Lynch, WJZ.
All right, thank you very much, Tara.
However, modern technology can often provide answers in the most brutal cases. Forensic teams collected DNA evidence, including a cigarette butt left at the scene. This, combined with surveillance footage of someone using Sellers' stolen credit card, gave investigators a trail to follow. The trail led them to an unsettling truth. The killings in Middle River were not isolated. The DNA and credit card usage linked the double homicide to a spree of other violent crimes committed in nearby Baltimore City. The suspect was Brian Cherry, already in custody for another murder and an attempted murder. At the time of his arrest for the Harvey and Sellers murders, Brian Cherry was 36 years old and already facing charges for two other violent acts that happened over the course of several weeks. He was connected to a June 26th attempted murder at a medical center and a July 14th murder of Sierra Johnson in Baltimore City.
Well, the defendant is accused of committing all those crimes in about 2.5-week period. Police write in their charging documents regarding the June stabbing that Mr. Cherry poses a threat to society.
Justice should be swift.
Wilson Hackney reacting to the news of an arrest and the murders of his friends 29-year-old Autumn Harvey, and her grandmother, 75-year-old Iona Sellers.
It's just really sad that people don't value human lives anymore.
One woman who didn't want to be identified told us the circumstances of the crime haunt her.
Why was he there? Did he know them?
According to police charging documents, this was a random attack. Authorities say 36-year-old Brian Cherry used a chair to climb through a window of the home, stabbing Harvey several times. Sellers died from blunt force trauma to her head. Their bodies were discovered during a wellness check July 7th. Police charged Cherry with those murders. 11 News Investigates has learned Cherry is charged with several violent crimes in the course of a little more than 2.5 weeks. Court records indicate that on June 26th, Cherry randomly stabbed a man 8 times at a medical facility on East Eager Street. The victim told investigators he was handing out free medical supplies to patients. City police issued a warrant for his arrest on July 1st on attempted murder charges. Court papers show they also had his last known address. Neighbors wonder why police didn't catch him sooner. City police tell us the Warrant Apprehension Task Force immediately started a background investigation, writing, detectives began surveillance and checked multiple locations in attempts to apprehend the suspect. Just 6 days later, police say, Cherry killed Harvey and Sellers. Evidence includes surveillance footage and a DNA match from a tossed cigarette found at the crime scene. Then on July 14th, city police arrested Cherry for the murder of 39-year-old Sierra Johnson. She lived in the Latrobe housing project, which is also his last known address.
She helped me. So her murder is deeply troubling for me.
The bail review for the Baltimore County case is set for Monday. Reporting live from Middle River, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.
The community and family members were left with a profound sense of loss and anger. Autumn Harvey's cousin, Devin Harvey, spoke to the media, expressing his shock and relief that an arrest had been made. Yet the family was left to wonder why a person with such a clear pattern of escalating violence was free to commit more heinous crimes.
We're just more heartbroken than anything. I'm sorry. My brother is beyond devastated. Autumn was his only child, and she was his life.
An incomprehensible loss. Shannon McLaughlin holds back tears as she talks about her niece, 29-year-old Autumn Harvey, and Autumn's 75-year-old grandmother, Iona Sellers.
When I tell you this lady loved her church, and there is no stranger she wouldn't have helped.
It's been 3 weeks since officers in Baltimore County discovered the women murdered inside their home in Middle River. The details so gruesome, McLaughlin says the family has opted to shield Harvey's father from them.
We had to have a closed casket because it was that bad. She was unrecognizable.
Just last week, Baltimore County Police announced the arrest of 36-year-old Brian Cherry. In court documents, tracking him down through surveillance video, bank records, sellers' credit cards were stolen and used, and DNA. Cherry was already in custody in Baltimore City for 3 other violent crimes, including a murder and an attempted murder. A warrant was issued for his arrest July 1st, several days before Harvey and Sellers' deaths. Further digging into court records showed Cherry was out on pretrial release for a pending drug trial at the time of all of the crimes and already had a history of violence, including a 2018 armed robbery where his entire sentence was suspended. Those details not sitting well with the family.
That's all we have spoken about is why was he out? When even the officer who took that report stated that he was a menace to society. Why was he even out? His background was absolutely ridiculous. You could tell he had a violent past. He had no reason to be out on the street. And now somebody has to answer for these murders. Somebody has to. And I'm not going to stop until somebody does answer me. Why was he out?
Fox 45 News has been digging for the full terms of Cherry's pretrial release. He was out on at the time investigators say he committed these 4 violent crimes. The city state's attorney's office reported he was ordered a drug assessment and treatment. But even more questions remain after the record shows he received these pretrial conditions of release after his bond was revoked in the case once before in October 2023.
My niece and her grandmother already paid for it in the most worst way. Somebody needs to answer my questions.
I reached out to the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services to confirm the terms of Cherry's pretrial release. A spokesperson acknowledged my request but says they need more time. As for Cherry, he's due back in court for his preliminary hearings in September. Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Neighbors remember Iona Sellers as a generous churchgoer who would give the shirt off her back to help those in need. And Autumn Harvey was described as a happy-go-lucky person with a contagious laugh. The family will not stop until they get justice for their loved ones. Brian Cherry's bail hearing was held in August 2024, where he was ordered to be held without bond. The road to justice is long, with multiple court cases and trials expected. Cherry was already sentenced for the attempted murder of a medical center employee in September 2025, but awaits trials for the homicides. The murders of Autumn Harvey and Iona Sellers stand as a chilling reminder of the lasting trauma left by violent crime. As the legal process continues, their family and friends hope their memory will not fade. I remember hearing about this when it happened. A former coworker of mine lived right down the street from Iona Sellers, and he told me about it while we were working together. Personally, I was shocked. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and as usual, if you're a fan of urban legends, folklore, unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and all things mysterious, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.